Cars today are constantly evolving, every movement monitored, every decision corrected. Sensors, alerts, systems layered on systems. It can feel like the car is driving you.
But what if we could go back to a time when driving wasn't filtered through 1,000 lines of code, but felt, heard and lived?
The good news, you still can.
So this particular car is a 2001 Mercedes SL 500 Silver Arrow. They only made 100 of these cars. It was a celebration, commemoration, if you want to call it, for the R129 series. The Silver Arrow paintwork, it's called that because apparently back in the 1930s sort of Formula One era, a mechanic was seen scraping some of the paint off one of the Formula One cars and exposing the bare aluminium underneath. This was to try and make the car lighter. And eventually that car did actually go on to win the race, so hence the name Silver Arrow stuck. The Silver Arrow SL500 uses a 5-litre normally aspirated V8 engine. That gives it just the other side of 300 brake horsepower. So for a car of its age, the performance is very good. This car is also extremely refined. You get great equipment on the inside in comparison to the other cars. Obviously, if you're comparing it to a new car, it is quite analogue. But you do get things like electric, heated seats, air conditioning, CD player, etc. Which, once we start to talk about the other cars, you'll find that that's quite a high specification. So this is our second car, an Aero Racing Plus 4, or shortened to ARP4. This car is a 2016, and when you compare that to the Mercedes, which was 2001, this car is actually 15 years newer, although when you look at it, it looks about 50 years older. The bits that Aero Racing do, and Aero Racing are like a skunk works sort of performance division really of Morgan. All of what was done to this car was done by Morgan, left the factory like this. It wasn't modified by anybody else. What they do is they hone or modify or improve, upgrade areas of the car to make it more sporty. So you get larger wheels, wider tyres, better brakes, more suspension, more performance, which I'll go on to in a second. So it does give that car a much more sporty edge than the other cars. Under the bonnet of this car is a Ford-sourced Duratec engine, which has been built by Cosworth. Anybody that's into cars will know what Cosworth means. Loads of history, amazing performance. They just probably are the best builders of this type of engine. It develops 225 brake horsepower at 8,500 revs. If you ever have watched any sort of old school sort of rallying, or modern rallying really, that has Mark II Escorts in it, it really does sound just like that. As much as you get a great noise from the exhaust, a lot of it's all about the induction, about the breathing of the car, and it does sound fantastic. Something else about this car, which I think is pretty cool, is the colour, the name of the colour. The lights in here now really do it justice, and the colour of this car is called Prosecco Gold. So I think, again, a very sort of cool thing to go with this car. That's matched to the stone leather inside, so it gives you that sort of very contemporary, classic sort of look. It's the sort of car that if you were going to go on holiday to maybe the Lake District with your partner, have a drive around some lovely country roads, this car would be fantastic for that. It's got more than enough performance to put a real smile on your face. And again, because of its underpinnings, although it's too new to be called a modern classic, I suppose it still is because of the appearance of it, but the fact that because of the engine and everything else like that, it's from a much modern sort of powertrain, you could sort of use it every day. So our third car, and what is this car? A lot of people who are into cars are going to say it's an AC Cobra. where in fact actually this car is called a Gardner Douglas, and the particular model is a GD Mark IV. Gardner Douglas have been around for over 35 years now. They recreate iconic British sports cars, or American British sports cars like this. Quick history lesson, the AC Ace, which is what the Cobra's based upon, was a British sports car. They took it to America, threw a big V8 in it, and there we go. This is a 2018 car, done just over, about 1,100 miles. There are a few things that make this particular car special, one being the colour. So the original owner of this car had a favourite colour from another car manufacturer from Italy. This particular colour is called Ferroco Red, and yes, that is a Ferrari colour. The other thing, which I suppose really dominates this car, and is something you won't find anywhere else really, is its engine. This particular car runs an LS7, so that's a normally aspirated 7-litre V8 engine. It develops 650 brake horsepower, and thanks to the twin side exit pipes, it's going to sound a bit cliche, but it does sound like thunder. It emits an amazing noise, it really, really does. When I first sort of got in to drive it, you know, it's quite scary because of what it is. There are no aids, there's no ABS, there's no traction control, there's no side windows, there's no roof. There is a clip-on tonneau cover you could use, but really that's like holding an umbrella above your head. You know, I thought it's going to be very intimidating, hard to drive, but in reality, when you do drive it, after a few miles, the clutch is light, the gear change is fantastic, the steering is light. I just can't get over how amazing the car is to drive. It's ferociously fast, but just like any car, it's only as fast as you want to put the accelerator pedal down. People who buy Gardner Douglas cars, they do race them. So this has adjustable suspension, so it is set up to feel, you know, very performance orientated. It really is a true hairy-chested sports car. If you have or had the opportunity to have a number of cars within your garage, you know, cars you're going to use on a daily basis, practical cars and that sort of thing, and maybe you want something that's a complete antidote to most other cars, you know, this is like a four-wheel motorbike. Really, if you've got the space within your garage for a car that you just want to go out on a Sunday morning and wake yourself up, this is definitely the car. I've been very lucky to drive lots and lots of fast cars over my career in the motor trade, and I don't think anything comes close to the sort of visceral, raw experience that this car has. So, we've driven the cars over 3 days. We've been sort of pretty much all over the Isle of Man. We've had the help of James. Unfortunately, James can't be here tonight, but he had spent quite a bit of time in the morgue, and I know he really liked it.
Loved it.
He has had other times in the car, so thanks very much to James for his help with the video. In summary, so the 3 keys are on the end of the bench there. You know, which one would you pick up and why?
It's not really a tough choice for me. It'd be the Gardner Douglas. That's sort of, as I said at the start of the conversation, you've got people that will gravitate towards one car. The Gardner Douglas is just my type of car, in the sense that I want something that's lightning quick, but it's got a sense of occasion about it. It looks great, it's a talking point, and if you're a petrol head, it's sort of like the ultimate petrol head car. Like you say about the myths and stuff like that, but one of the things you learn in this job is that cars don't always match their myths exactly, do they? Mm-hmm. And you get in a car and you say, oh, I was told this about it, I was told that about it. And a lot of the myths are spread by people who've never driven them. And it's just a fallacy that all these things are talked about, but by people who've never driven them. And ultimately, I'd say, you know, people say never drive your dream car and stuff like that. Well, we get to do that a lot, don't we? And I'd say that the Gardner Douglas has impressed me enough to be the one that I would take home. What about you?
I'd probably take the Morgan.
Why?
Because I think it fuses the best bits of both of the other 2 cars. So it's an occasion, it's a talking point, it's fast. You know, that the Gardner Douglas has, obviously not in the same league in terms of fast, but it's still very fast. It still looks great. It's an occasion. It has some of the practicalities that Mercedes has, obviously not as much. I probably would take the Morgan, and then maybe drive to your house, leave it there, and
And
then
then
take the Gardner Douglas.
There's none of your sort of Mark II Escort days, sort of with that engine. And
yeah, I mean that's exactly it. If you close your eyes and listen to what you're driving, the Morgan sounds like, you know, a Mark II Escort rally car.
Yeah, and that's what I got from driving it tonight, because that's obviously the car I've driven the least.
Yeah.
And revving that engine through is a very rewarding experience.
Yeah. But I think I'd take the Morgan, you take the Gardner Douglas, and then when we get up in the morning, it's chucking it down, we both regret it and wish you'd taken the SL, because you can use that all the time. Plus the fact as well, the SL's got, let's say, it has got 4 seat belts. The back seats are a bit small, but you know, it's got better.
It's probably the most usable car out of all of them, isn't it? In terms of everyday use, boot space, and a hard top that's sort of going to give you that benefit all the year round. Whereas the other ones are cars that you fire up on occasion, and you go out and you enjoy that experience on that one day, and you pull in somewhere, you get some conversation started about it, because each one of those cars will start a conversation with the right person.
So, you know, each of the 3 cars, we're selling those 3 cars for clients who very kindly let us take the cars to create the film, chat about the cars, you know, and experience them. And you know, thank you very much for the clients that have let us do that. You know, it's great to be able to actually spend some time in the cars that we sell, rather than just polish them and look how nice they are in the showroom.
And that's not always the case, is it? We don't often get to drive if we're selling it to somebody else. That's the thing that sometimes we're missing out on.
Yeah.
And
we get asked the question a lot, have you driven it?
Yeah.
And well, I've moved it around a bit, but I've not really driven it, you know. So no, the last few days has been fantastic. Also, I'd like to say thank you very much to Tony for being and Dan for being our expert photographers and drone
operators.
It's been great, and we hope we can do it again soon with some more cars.
Yeah.